Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so it's yet another example. An example of what, you may ask? Another example of Democrats doing the darndest thing. Another example of Democrats supporting something that you would think indefensible. You know, it's crazy. Remember when Hillary Clinton said this?
Why aren't I 50 points ahead, you might ask?
She was looking at the political dynamic at the time and questioning to herself, well, I'm asking myself a similar question, just flipped the other way around. How are Democrats not 20 points behind in the polls with all of this insane crap that they're constantly promoting? And speaking of insane crap, we've got what's going on right now in California as Gavin Newsom signs on to a law that bans voter ID in the state. Absolute sheer woke left-wing insanity has totally taken over in California. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so this popped up on my timeline from Libs of TikTok. She writes, last year, Gavin Newsom signed a law banning local governments from passing laws requiring ID to vote. The law went into effect this week. California cannot require ID to vote. Democrats do not want to secure elections. I wonder why. And you know what? I'm wondering the same thing looking at this. We got a Senate bill from the California legislature that states existing law permits the governing body of a city or district to request that the county render specific services to the city or district regarding the conduct of an election. This bill would prohibit a local government from enacting or enforcing any charter provision, ordinance, or regulation requiring a person to present identification for the purpose of voting or submitting a ballot at any polling place, voting center, or other location where ballots are cast or submitted as specified. Seems pretty clear in language, and again, the same question, what the frick is the purpose of this? I wonder why. Well, it's obvious why. They don't want secure elections. And of course, you know, there's the plan at large.
There's a significant number of these people that are illegal immigrants that have made their way to swing states. And then there's been calls for amnesty. There's been calls for allowing these people to have a pathway to citizenship and allow them to vote. The fear that a lot of people have is that this is a coordinated effort to take these people that you're allowing to come into the country, then you're providing them with all sorts of services like food stamps and housing and setting them up, and then providing a pathway to amnesty, and then you would have voters that would be significantly voting towards the Democrats because they're the people that enabled them to come into the country in the first place.
Might as well piggyback off the Joe Rogan clip that we played a couple months ago. He lays it out perfectly. It's obvious what Democrats are up to here. They're shamelessly backing a policy that is so objectively bad, so blatantly wrong, just because it fits their agenda. You know, it's the behavior we've gotten used to. Logic and ethics take a back seat when it comes to party ambition. This is how it works in the Democrat Party these days, and especially Democrat bastions, Democrat strongholds like California. What's expected is a kind of blind, cult-like loyalty to whatever the party elites demand. I mean, what other explanation is there? Look at the polling data. Might as well show you guys a chart because I think that's going to be the best visual tool here. Just look at this. This is the breakdown for public opinion when it comes to voter ID in elections. 84% in favor, 15% oppose. I mean, that's beyond a supermajority. That's near unanimous. And yet Democrats put themselves on the other side of the issue. Voter ID laws are overwhelmingly supported by Americans across the political spectrum. And it's not just in the data I showed you. This is according to poll after poll after poll. I mean, you need ID for almost everything in your life, from flying, buying alcohol, renting a car. So why not for something as important as voting? I mean, by far the most important thing on that list. It's a no-brainer, but instead of acknowledging that, Democrats, well, they're doubling down on this whole voter ID being racist and disenfranchising nonsense. But that's where we are. Clown World 2025. That's the modern day Democratic Party for you. They're willing to embrace policies that actively harm the country as long as it benefits their agenda. And of course, this isn't just limited to their views on voter ID. Look at their stance on illegal migration. They've created a system where millions of undocumented people are living essentially as second-class citizens in the nation, working in the shadows of society, being exploited not only by criminals and coyotes, but also corporations. It's almost like a modern day near slavery pipeline, and the Democrats are complicit, and not only complicit, they actively defend it. You know, they try to paint Donald Trump as being a cruel cool guy from wanting to enforce immigration laws, deporting those who are in America illegally, but look at what they're actually defending. I mean, who benefits from unchecked illegal migration? Definitely not the migrants themselves, who are often working grueling jobs for low pay under dangerous conditions. No, who benefits? It's the corporations that are exploiting these people. And if you just turn on CNN, well, you see the Democrat angle in this debate.
South Dakota dairy farmer Greg Mose supports Donald Trump and his pick of his governor, Kristi Noem, to lead the Department of Homeland Security.
Are you worried if there were a mass roundup of undocumented migrants that you might lose workers? You might not have enough workers.
How are they going to do that? Nobody will be filling the shelves. Nobody will be producing food. Within 2 days, we will not have food. There will not be food anywhere.
2 days?
Yes.
It sounds like you have a lot of faith that they're not going to do what they're saying.
That's pretty much what I'm thinking. We have to trust in our officials that are put in place.
They keep promoting this idea that Donald Trump's the bad guy, he's the crazy person, and that society can't possibly keep going on without these exploitative practices. In other words, another example of Democrats supporting the indefensible, supporting something that is objectively wrong because they get to attack Donald Trump over it. Of course, it's nothing new.
You kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Why are you shipping these immigrants up north? We need them to pick the crops.
People talk to me about the price of food. One of the things that I ask them is, how many of your children are you raising to go and work on the farms? And I usually get absolutely zero hands. And I explain to them, this is why we don't demonize people that are actually coming to our country to help us out economically.
Whether you like it or not, a very large portion of the agricultural workforce in the United States, the people who make the food that goes into our grocery stores, are undocumented migrants.
They've been saying this forever. Yeah, well, Donald Trump, if you kick out all the illegals that we exploit for cheap labor, who's gonna pick your crops or clean your toilet? I mean, give me a frickin' break. It's so insulting. It's always the same thing with these Democrats. Virtue signal, jump on top of these issues and try to make yourself seem like the good person. But really, you're just a manipulator taking advantage of a broken system. Instead of fixing the broken system, you encourage it. That's what Democrats do. Sanctuary cities, free healthcare for illegals. And now I guess screw elections, screw sovereignty, ban voter ID. Completely insane. Pretend you're doing something while you're actually doing harm. Ooh, sanctuary cities. Meanwhile, what's actually happening to the people that they claim to care about? You got people living in an underclass in constant fear with no legal protections, no stability, and no hope of ever moving up in society. I mean, how is that progressive? It's simply exploitation on a massive scale. And on the issue of voter ID, by now banning it, they're essentially saying that they don't care about election integrity as long as it helps them win. And with the hypocrisy point again, the same people who are constantly talking about saving democracy are the ones who are actively trying to undermine it. The same hypocrisy, just a different outfit. The Democrats have created a cult where all that matters is the party's ambition and the party talking points. Whether it's allowing corporate abuse of illegal migrants or dismantling basic election safeguards, they're showing you who they really are. It's never been about compassion, fairness, justice. It's about power, pure and simple. The Democrat Party has a cult-like grip over its followers, and they will do anything, they will say anything, they will defend anything, they will push forward any policy as long as they have orders to do so. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys on this one. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.